Happy Thursday. Sports program is brought to you by NCA National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. We're still at war? Is that still going on? It was when I left the house.
I think they wrapped it up or something, or somebody called an audible. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I didn't know. I know when I left the house, I heard it was still going on, but I'm not quite sure if it is. I see the gas. Oil's almost $80 a barrel. Oh, no. Price is going up. That sucks. It's not a win for anybody at all. So this is going to be an interesting few days. I did the math on yesterday. We were talking about. I did the math on how much it would cost per paycheck at what our burn rate is right now. So per paycheck, if it's $1 billion a day, it's $90 per paycheck. Chances are it's closer to $1.5 billion to $2 billion, which would be like $135 every paycheck to fund the war as we go. So they could put that on, like when you go, it's like a gratuity. That'll be on your taxes at the bottom of the thing. It'll say just like a gratuity for thank you for paying for the war as we go. So that's what we're looking at here.
Don't be silly. We're not going to do that. Dude, we got printing presses in the back room.
We do. We also have that. We've got the printing presses in the background. We could do that, or we can print more money, devalue the dollar, make it worth less. The choice is your guys. You guys decide what you want to do with this.
What do you want to miss out on all that inflation?
I don't. I don't want to miss out on all that. You guys enjoying the inflation? So it is, we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to go another 2 weeks, right? See what the Kurds do. Kurds in a way. They're going to get in there and see what they do. I got the latest Lindsey Graham take. Are you guys ready for this? This is Lindsey.
We should paint our missiles and ICBMs pink?
No. This is Lindsey's latest take on, so far Lindsey is, nuclear bombs 2 weeks away. It's my favorite. They've been 2 weeks away since I was a child. I don't know how long 2 weeks is in your world, but mine 2 weeks is 2 weeks. But Lindsey's now turned it into a religious war.
This is a religious war. Who wins it at the end of the day? Do the radical Islamic terrorists who want to kill all the Jews because God told them to? Who want to kill me because I'm an infidel? Who want to purify Islam, to reject moderation and make everybody a jihadist? This is a big deal. I'll deal with Section 230. So what we're facing right now is a moment of decision that will set the course of the future of the Mideast for 1,000 years.
There we go.
Starting to believe that he thinks he is God.
I don't know. I mean, he is just, every time you turn around, he is just talking up a new thing about how much this is a religious war. It's this war. It's that war. Trump, Churchill, and Roosevelt. I mean, it's just Truman. It's just every time is something new.
How to come up with 50 BS reasons we need a war in Lindsey Graham's new project.
Somebody asked me, are you against the war? Yes, I'm against the war. If there was a real reason that we needed this done outside of it being, Israel, I would like to know. I mean, there's a real reason. He didn't even try to sell it. See, that's the thing. I think the frustration, I've talked to a lot of people out there on the right in particular, this at least with Iraq, they put together a plan. It was glossy. I mean, they came out and they sold. They did actual go in and test market words to see what would work with the American people.
Do you remember? I don't remember who the cabinet member was, but it's one of George Bush's people came out and said that the war was about jobs, and then suddenly the approval rating for the war went like right through the roof.
And that's just it. They test market these things. There's a great book out there about how they went out in the Iraq war, and they actually did, Frank Luntz, they actually did focus groups like you would for, drinks or snacks or movies. And they ask you questions like, what do you think? What works? Is any of this working for you?
And they're not beyond lying to you. I mean, when we were about to go into Iraq the first time, they had the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador go in front of Congress and lie to them and claim that the Iraqi soldiers were pulling babies out of incubators, dumping them on the ground, and taking the incubators back to Iraq, and it never happened.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. I mean, you got to sell it, right? It's the old saying, it's the tail that wags the dog. The tail that wags the dog. And the cost, I worry about the cost of human lives. I worry about to our men and women out there, and I worry about the cost of money we don't have, which nobody seems to care about. The fact that we're this much in debt. I mean, we've run out of credit cards, guys. We've run out of credit cards to put it on. We can't consolidate our loans anymore. We at this point, America, with the amount of money we spend, we're going to have to go get a title loan at 236% interest. So, yeah, it's a little frustrating. It is. I mean, we should, if the eminentness of all of this stuff it's always been, last year we destroyed all of their stuff. Okay, we destroyed all their stuff. Well, I thought it was destroyed. And remember, all they have to do is survive. That's it. That's all they have to do. They just have to survive. Nothing else. They don't have to do anything else. They don't have to go and defeat and take it. They can fire and do stuff, but if they're still intact, that's all they have to do. It's like every day Ukraine survives, that's a win for them. And it's a loss for Putin. That's all they have to do is survive. That's it. Like today, and I was telling Bell, so somebody tweeted at me today about, his uncle being in Pearl Harbor and how we shouldn't have attacked. And I'm like, well, first of all, they attacked us. So that was a little bit different. And let's not pretend that we weren't looking for some ways to get into that war. But, then, and I'm like, no, that's not, that's not even a real, we're not playing, that's not apples to apples. That's, you're making something up now. Yeah, we got attacked at Pearl Harbor. Totally different thing. Totally different. And then he sent something back saying, you're hateful of Trump. I'm like, I don't hate Trump. I don't feel either way about him. I don't love or hate any politician. That's just too much. I got other energy. And then he said, well, what about the people that flew into the trade towers? And I'm like, they're not Iranian. It's like, it's like when we went into Iraq. How many times did you hear, well, terrorism? Well, Iraq didn't attack us. Iraq didn't attack us at all.
And all these excuses of, well, Iran killed 240 of our Marines back in Lebanon. Well, should we go back and attack Japan now for what they did at Pearl Harbor? If we hadn't taken care of it back then, how long do we hold a grudge for? Especially when it's going to affect our country, our finances, and our people, and our soldiers.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and think about the future. And for many of you who are mad at me, you're probably older, right? You're not worried about, but your kids, your grandkids, that we're selling them. We're going to hand them a pile of crap after all of this. Here, you're $100 gazillion in debt. Have fun. For wars that we're going to go over and just wander over and do. No, I mean, I'm brave enough to stand up here and go, no, I don't think it was a good idea. You got sold a bunch of crap, and several of you have also said, you know why he never talks about it? Because he knew he couldn't sell it to the people. It's a hard sell. I mean, like I said, Iraq, they went for it, man. They had it was glossy. They had the big deal. They got everybody to vote on it. And wouldn't you like to see, too, Congress vote on something where they have to put their vote down? Because every time, it doesn't matter what it is, like Trump did all this stuff and he's had executive order everything because Congress can't pass anything. They can't pass gas. Put your vote down. Get behind it. Put your vote down. Because that way you can go, hey, guess what? You sold America, crap. A lie. And this has nothing to do with the men and women who are out there busting their ass fighting and some paying the price. One of the guys that died was in Kuwait. He was 20 years old. He was born like 4 years after 9/11 and all of this stuff. And you're sitting there, the frustration level of this, because yes, we want safety, no doubt about it. But Iran, were you not sleeping at night because of Iran? Were you having that trouble?
Well, I'm kind of an insomniac anyway, but I decided to go ahead and blame it on Iran.
By the way, my daughter's the worst insomniac. She's as bad as me. Charlie is as bad as me. 7 years old. I got up at 2-something this morning. She's like, "Hi, Dad." I'm like, "Hi, Charlie." Every day now she's up till 2. She doesn't sleep. And even this morning, she finally fell asleep. Her mom said like 3 o'clock last night or this morning. And she was up at like 8 o'clock. We just don't do it. We don't. So
she's going to grow up and be just like you, sleeping 2 hours a day.
Yeah, that's it. Let's see here. Chad, I'm a dumbass. Okay, thank you. I don't care. Iran is the state sponsor of terror. Yes, okay. Okay. You guys tell me the end goal in this. Somebody tell me what the end goal is in all of this. Tell me. Tell me what the end of the day, what does it look like for a win? I'd like to know. What does it look like? It falls into, a civil war type situation and we pull out? What does it look like as a win? I would like to know. What do you guys think? And should we pay as we go? Trump said he told Axios today that he needs to be involved in picking their new supreme leader.
Which they've already got a replacement.
Yeah. Is it the grandson or the son?
I don't know.
It's one of the two. We're absolute morons. There's a million reasons. Okay, what are the million reasons?
Well, give us 10.
Yeah, what are the million reasons? They're going to get a nuke. Are they going to get a nuke? Were they going to get a nuke? Why wouldn't they try to get a nuke now?
No, nobody wants to hold Trump accountable for saying back when we last bombed them that they had been set back 10 years.
Yes.
So was he lying then or was he lying now?
So, exactly.
Nobody wants to hold the people that they vote for accountable. Oh, he's the right guy, so I can't say anything against him. If your guy does something stupid, you should step up and criticize him.
Absolutely. He promised no more wars. We're traipsing around, and now we're into something else that's costing us $1 billion to $2 billion a day. If we go a month, that's going to cost us what? Say, and this is just the outlay, not what it costs to get everything there and all that. We're going to be looking at, and the downriver kind of stuff, we're going to be looking at probably $100 billion. If it goes longer, we could look at $200 billion.
Oh, we're not out of this till we've spent $1 trillion, I guarantee you.
Oh, $1 trillion. That's a lot. That's a round number, though. It's a big-ass round number. We might have to go to the Doge to get that. All right, coming up, other stuff to talk about today besides the war. Got some of your text messages as well. I'd like to know what you guys think a win is. Britney Spears gets worse every day. She's a hot mess. This may be the best thing for her. We'll talk a bit about that, a bunch of other stuff, including Judea and Samaria. So we're going to be calling it.
Thank God we got that fixed.
Yeah, that thing finally got
Or it's on the way anyway.
Yeah, it's got out of the committee, so it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. We'll talk about that, bunch of other good stuff on the way. Reach out to us across all of our socials. You can tweet at me, love, hate, and everything else at Chad Benson Show. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. All right, guys. PrizePicks is awesome. Amazing. Right now, you can win on PrizePicks. And let me tell you how it works. PrizePicks is America's #1 sports pick app. You pick a lineup, they call it. It's 2 or more players up to 6. And the way it works is you're picking more or less on players' projected stats. So more or less on players' projected stats. So do you think Shohei Ohtani is going to get more than 1.5 hits? Do you think that, let's go over there and say Harden's going to make more than 3.5 3-pointers? There you go. That's how you play. It is that simple, and away you go. They've got amazing opportunities for you to get $50 instantly when you use my code Chad after you download the app today. It's that simple. They've also got stacks. They've got a way to protect yourself with an injury reboot. And I love this part, too. You can get it paid out before the game's even over as well, early payouts. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use my code Chad. When you do, you're going to get $50 instantly in free lineups. Once you use my code Chad, download the PrizePicks app today. Use my code Chad to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, good to be right. The Wellness Institute of Nashville is awesome. Dr. Mitchell's my doctor. He should be yours as well. Right now, 47% off all this amazing stuff that they do over there, including spinal decompression. And what they have going on right now is awesome. So you go over there, you see Dr. Mitchell. First and foremost, he is an innovator, and he's awesome. So you got back and neck pain, sciatic, slip, bulging disc. You go over there, and he's going to, first of all, the innovations, they got robot lasers, anti-gravity machines, but now they got the new HydroWave, which stimulates your very own stem cells. So you're healing yourself with yourself, thanks to the knowledge of our good friends over there at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. You can have a pain-free life. You do not have to be in a situation where you're in pain. Don't do it. Get out of the pain. Get back into life with the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Call them today, 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009. Check them out online at painisbad.com, painisbad.com for the Wellness Institute of Nashville.
Heavy fighting continues across Iran today. We got an update on Operation Epic Fury. Here in Tennessee, lawmakers advancing a bill that would ban a stimulant that users say helps with their anxiety, and they can buy it in gas stations. We'll tell you about it at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It's the stuff that sounds like bait.
Kratom.
Kratom. Aren't you supposed to be at the boat show? We had all this opportunity for you to go get our tuna boat today.
I can't do it today, boys.
Oh,
Can't do it.
dude,
I think we need to take the responsibility of Ken finding the boat for us away from him.
all right, you're going to have to get the bait then. Get the
I'll
kratom.
get the bait.
Get the kratom and see how that goes.
I'm going to get a bunch of hot chicken for bait, and hopefully I'll have some left over whenever we go fishing.
I was really hoping he was going to stop at Chicks and get some hot chicks.
That was so funny. So what happened? Well, Ken ate all the bait before we got to fish. So we
And
just
we
floated
ran out
around.
of bait.
We all got sunburnt and we floated around for a little while. So there was that. So the kratom, though. Man, they're coming after the hardcore kratom. They're getting rid of everything, man.
I guess I don't know what kratom is.
It is, what is it? You know this, Bell. What is kratom?
I have no idea. Every time I hear the word, I think of Kratos from that video game.
That's what I think of, too. It's a plant that does what, though?
It says it can act as both a stimulant and an opioid-like depressant. Now, how does it do both?
I was going to say, hey, you're going to be both high and very chill. You're going to be, it's speed and a downer at the same time.
You're going to be wide awake and asleep.
You're going to be
at the
really
same
sad,
time.
but your house will be clean.
Oh, God, that is hilarious.
It's going to make you real tired, but you're going to get a lot of stuff done.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's right. You're going to start taking stuff apart. But they sell them, I know they sell them at like, because you go into these places. So if you go into any of your liquor stores or anything, you'll see them right there next to the, you know, those little pills that say, do you want to be better in the bedroom? And, you know, all that stuff. 3 hour energy, not 5 hour. 3 hours and 42-minute energy and bigger in the bedroom pills. And then it's kratom. And I've never understood what kratom is, but it's a plant. That's all I know. So you can be both speeded out and chilling.
Yeah, it says the dual action happens because kratom contains psychoactive alkaloids, primarily mitragynine and 7-hydroxymitragynine.
Yeah, that mitragynine, she's crazy.
Yeah.
So mitragynine.
Yeah, mitragynine. I think that's how it's pronounced.
That is just, okay.
Mitragynine. Mitragynine. I bet you that's it.
Maybe. I like it. Either way it works. Just power through it. Nobody knows. They don't know either.
Yeah. Mitragynine and hydroxymitragynine.
Okay, so here's a pharmacist just texting. We see a lot of kratom overdoses in our hospital. See, I don't know, like, I know it's unregulated, and, you know, because a lot of these things, man, you see some of these things in these places. There's no way. It's like, would you like to go all night? Yeah, take this. What is it? You're like, I don't know. It's like crack, but they're selling it next to, you know, the candy.
Yeah, right next to the big fat candy bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy anything like that from a gas station.
No.
I know where I go. I trust where I go, and that's the only place I go.
Now, this guy said it helped him get off opioids.
Yeah, a lot of people say it helps them.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it helps with pain, anxiety.
So does that give it is it analogous to what's the
ketamine and stuff?
No, the not Narcan. What's this? What they give you when you're trying to get off?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. When you're trying to get off the opioids.
What is that?
But it's probably good, but you're buying it from guys who are like, we're going to do this or we're going to make an energy drink. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're driving around in giant trucks. It's called the Big Truck Energy Drink. Or we're going to do kratom.
Methadone.
Yeah, a lot of there are claims that it's good for opioid withdrawal symptoms or cravings.
This Nelson said the best thing ever. There's one called Wasp. It makes your thingy tingle. I don't think you're doing it right.
Wonder if that's on the package.
That's right. Well, you know what are they saying now? Like, because the people who are dropping DMT and all this kind of stuff, they're saying it's like you're watching people, especially veterans, who are saying how it's just taking away their PTSD and their depression. And then there's some people who are like, and I saw aliens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
And apparently that's what kratom is. It's two things at the same time.
Well, that is interesting. Well, good for that. I would buy a hot dog from a gas station. Yeah, TB, I would as well. Right? Like there's got to be, that kind of worries me. So I would definitely, it's like, okay, should I get the hot dog that's been in that little spinny thing for 4 days? You know what I mean? It's just been there. It's the same hot dog. Or should I get some kratom?
How about some kratom and a hot dog?
Oh, yeah, that's going to go well. Well, the good news is the hot dog will make you vomit, so the kratom won't take effect.
Government is always looking for the next thing to save you from.
Yes. Yes, because they want to save you from yourself, mostly. Mostly
and line their pockets.
Line their pockets. All right, coming up, we're talking a little bit about, we're finally getting that thing out of committee, so we know what to call Samaria and Judah, which is, that's good, like, because I was worried that we weren't going to figure that one out. And poor Brit, and the big trial that's going on that we need to talk about has nothing to do with Meta and all to do with somebody who's got a monopoly. We'll talk about that as well. Chad Ben says, Super Talk, 99.7.
12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Heavy fighting continues across Iran today as U.S. and Israeli forces carry out new strikes as part of Operation Epic Fury. Israel destroying a ballistic missile launcher while expanding operations into Lebanon. Iran launched fresh missile attacks toward Israel and Gulf states, prompting major air defense operations in the United Arab Emirates and Qatar. ABC News contributor and former Department of Homeland Security official John Cohen on the possible cyber attack to come from Iran.
Iran has an extensive cyber capability. It's not just located in Iran, it's a global network of hackers. We're already seeing signs that they're seeking to leverage those hackers to conduct attacks against Israeli government, U.S. government, state and local government here in the U.S., and even private sector critical infrastructure information systems here in the U.S. as well.
Right now in Tennessee, lawmakers have advanced a bill that would ban kratom statewide after hearing emotional testimony at the Capitol yesterday. Families, including one mother who lost her son to a kratom-related interaction with another drug, urged lawmakers to take action. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation reporting rising abuse and withdrawal cases tied to the substance. Opponents argue that regulation, not a full ban, would better protect consumers. And here in Tennessee, election 2026, the deadline for candidates to file quickly approaching. 6th District Congressman John Rose on WTN's Chris Hand Show says he's not focused only on beating Senator Marsha Blackburn in the gubernatorial primary.
We know from the 2018 race, we all remember well that Governor Lee was thought to have no chance all the way up until early June of that year, then broke out and, obviously ended up being the next governor of Tennessee. So this race is not about, influential elected officials who endorse.
The candidate filing deadline is Tuesday, and that's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
All right, guys, if something goes wrong in your home, guess what you need? BusyB, buzzing around, taking care of things the way it needs to be taken care of. Why is that? Because BusyB plumbing, heating, and cooling are amazing. They're your trusted pros when it comes to all things in your home, like your pipes, like your HVAC system. Right now, when you purchase a 16-SEER high-efficiency HVAC system or a whole home repipe, BusyB is going to get you something amazing for free. A Yeti Tundra 45 cooler, absolutely free. Yeti cooler. And this month only, though. So get on it. Plus, BusyB has TVA rebates available. So if you do a tune-up and a unit replacement, even better than just getting all that done is they're going to handle the chaos and craziness of all the paperwork. So there's no hassles, no headaches. If you want even more savings, join the BusyB Beehive Club membership. What that means is all year long, priority scheduling. They're going to make sure they get discounted repairs, free annual HVAC and plumbing checks, extended warranties, all that stuff. Peace of mind knowing your equipment is always running at its best. It's easy way to save money, avoid breakdowns, and protect your home. Call BusyB today. Tell them I sent you. 615-775-7833 or visit busybhvac.com. Good news, guys. Samaria, we're going to get it done. Pretty excited about it. You guys didn't know. Bruce Pearl yesterday. He's got itself out of committee.
This legislature is not being asked to solve the problems of the Middle East. It's being asked to reflect on our own heritage and whether that still means anything. I'd be so proud of the state of Tennessee. I'd be so proud under the leadership of Governor Bill Lee.
So he's out there talking about the bill that would rename Judea and Samaria instead of the West Bank, because that's important. Nothing else is that important right now. Like, it's getting out of committee. It's going to go there. This fascination with Israel, this obsession with this. Why do we care here in Tennessee? It's the West Bank. We're all moving on with our lives. Why does it matter? Why do we have to take time on this?
Even Israel calls it the West Bank.
Yeah, even Israel does. Even Israel. People aren't some people are very happy. Some people are not.
HB 1446 contains 19 detailed findings about the land where my family comes from. It names ancient kings, it quotes scriptures, it cites references from 1920, and in all of that, in all 19 findings, it does not once acknowledge that Palestinians live on that land, not once.
I would hope that we would do better in choosing which bills we choose to spend our time on. This is just shameful, shameful, shameful.
Shameful. Yeah, I'm going to second that. That's a little shameful. We don't need to be doing this. There are things that matter, right? Like, we're all like, how about you guys, I don't know, talk about stuff that matters. How are we going to fix the potholes? How are we going to handle the things that need to be handled here? You got a finite time to do it. And I see a lot of people running around taking care of things that really don't matter in the overall scheme of things to your day-to-day life. And we're spending time on it. We shouldn't be doing that. There are other things that we need to get done.
It's performative for his constituents.
That's all it is. It's performative. It is absolutely performative. 100%. Oh, wait, I'm the most depressing radio show. Really? We just talked about kratom.
That was pretty exciting.
That was pretty exciting.
I got a high and I didn't even take the stuff. Somebody
asked if kratom, would you fail a drug test? I'm assuming you wouldn't, right? You're not going to fail do they even test for kratom?
Well, if it has an opioid-like effect, would there be something in it that would have it mimic opioids in a test?
No, because it would have to be, my assumption, it's going to have to be the actual opioid because if it's just a plant. But here's the thing, you don't know what's in any of those stuff. It's a bunch of dudes, like I said, who were going to do, they were going to do an energy drink or they were going to do kratom.
Dude, that makes me feel pretty good.
And kratom's probably safer than the energy drink.
Probably.
Package it up, take it over to the quick sack.
Oh, goodness me. Yeah, I can't even. It's not a controlled substance.
No, it's just not. It's just the FDA doesn't have anything to do with.
Well, it's like supplements. Like, how many of those supplements are out there that you can, certain things like that you can go and buy, and some of them are fairly harmless. Some of them work, but this is not meant to do. This is not like you go buy some of those supplements, like you go get a vitamin B or you get some of these. This is not that. Like, this is meant to do something to you. Somebody said it was akin to spice. What's spice?
Isn't that supposed to be synthetic marijuana?
Is that what that is?
I don't take this stuff. I think that I've heard it called that before, but
spice.
If I'm going to ingest weed, it ain't going to be from a corner store.
Yeah.
No, sir.
No.
Well, unless they're selling seltzers.
There you go. That's okay. But again, probably the same guys. They're like, dude, you can try my seltzers, or you can get kratom from Big Truck Energy. I'm probation officer. You need a special test for kratom.
So I'm assuming if he's saying it's a special test, that the standardized one where they test for a battery of things, it's not they don't.
Yeah,
they
they
can't
don't test
find
it because
in
it's
that.
not. It's not prevalent. What was the stuff that was that made the people in Florida eat people's faces? What was that? Was it bath salts?
Bath salts.
Bath salts, yeah.
What the hell's a bath salt?
It's the stuff that women put in there.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. You literally, the women sprinkle it in the tub, and it gives it a nice aroma. And it's supposed to soften their skin after it's dissolved. Ladies, look what you're doing to this country.
Do you ever ask yourself, like, how do you get to that point? You're like, you know what? I wonder if I could smoke that.
I don't know if you smoke it.
Well, what do you do?
Yeah, you smoke it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, you smoke it.
Oh. I thought you just eat it.
You eat it. Also, something you shouldn't do.
This tastes like lavender.
So that is just so.
I'm going to have great breath.
Somebody made a decision to try bath salts, and they're like, it works. It works. You guys want to get high and then eventually eat your friend's face? This is the thing to do it. God, that's insane.
Well, think about it this way. I mean, who was the first guy to eat a mushroom and to find out if it was poisonous or not, and then find out, hey, we can eat these, versus the guy who ate a poisonous one and like, okay, we don't do those anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back in the day, yes, you're going to try stuff, right? Like the death cap. Somebody had to try it first, and that didn't work for them. But, it's different than that's natural. You're seeing it. But like bath salt, you're going into Bath and Body Works. I didn't know, you could get stuff that you get high with. That's crazy.
When somebody's desperate enough, they'll try anything if they think they'll get a buzz off of it.
Yeah.
It's like people drinking aftershave lotion that are alcoholics.
Oh, God, that is insane. That is so crazy that somebody said, who was the first person to lick that damn frog, the toad?
Yeah, that's true. You got to wonder.
My dog Red, because when we were out in the desert, we had desert toads. He would go and catch them, and he would lick them, and he would be so high. His tongue is, and he'd be cross-eyed, and he'd just sit in the pool.
You ever throw up?
Yeah, he was a hot mess. That was, that stuff's crazy. Just the fact that, yeah, you're right. Like, the whole thing about, like, bath salts. I thought it was something else. I didn't realize it was bath salts. It was just literally bath salts. You want to get so high that you want to eat your friend's face? Try some bath salts. Good God.
That doesn't sound like clean fun.
No, that doesn't sound like clean living right there.
Yeah, it's
guys.
like you come down from your high and you're like, oh, God, I got to clean this mess up.
Yes. Oh, Jim, what happened to you? You ate my face. It's not good. Did you guys see Brittany got arrested?
Yeah.
For what?
DUI.
Oh.
Yeah, she apparently took... Oh, go ahead, Brother Below.
I figured it was going to be something, she stabbed her own dog or something.
No. But, maybe this is good for her. She needs to go to therapy.
Well, she took down her Instagram, apparently.
Yeah,
that might help.
Yeah, that might help. Nobody wants to let the kids come over for the weekend when you're dancing and then trying to do the thing from Alien with the knife in your fingers.
I wonder what she was under the influence of. That's what I'd be curious
Probably
about.
kratom.
Spice.
A little bit of spice. So the lawsuit is going on right now in, I think it's day 2 of the Ticketmaster Live Nation lawsuit. And Live Nation's already, the first day they already won something that the judge sided with them on. And now what they've brought up, the Department of Justice, because let's be real, how many of us, we go to get tickets, we're still wondering why they charge us $19.95 for a print ticket that they email you that you don't print. But one of the things that they're saying is they've brought several people up that are saying they were threatened by Live Nation to Ticketmaster, saying if you bring your band here and you're going to use SeatGeek, you can't come here. You're going to be over in the,
Well, that was one of the things that Pearl Jam brought up back in the early 90s was that Ticketmaster had become a monopoly because they had such a high percentage of venues wrapped up with exclusivity.
Yes. And remember, this all took off because of the crashing of was it the Eras Tour? Yeah, the Eras Tour with the Britney. it all took off from there where
Taylor.
everybody, but not Brittany, but Taylor. And then everybody freaked out. And they're saying, no, that was bots. That wasn't us. That was bots. The bots came on there. They bought everything up. But the exclusivity, because they do have an exclusivity. So, and part of it is the artists, they can pick and choose what they want to work with promoter-wise, but they want to be in amphitheaters. They want to be, Bridgestone. They don't want to be.
And if it's a Live Nation-owned venue, they're going to want you using their ticket service.
Yeah. So, and that's just it. So you may say, we want to go with Live Nation here, but we're going to use SeatGeek. And they're going to say, well, you can use SeatGeek, but you're not going to be able to work here. So the artists are stuck as well. And they're saying, yeah, maybe the artists, they're choosing us because look how good we did. Because when I went over the Pearl Jam thing, that was such a mess because Pearl Jam tried to do it themselves. And this is pre-computer, but they had all the trouble that everybody else. They couldn't get a venue. The venues they did get were really weird, or they would play like an empty fairground, and everything fell apart. They had kept having to cancel shows, and they finally just threw their hands up because it is a dominant thing. I mean, who else is? You got SeatGeek, you got Vivid Tickets, but it's really just Ticketmaster and Live Nation.
And those are actually designed to be more resellers than.
Yeah, more than that. So, and that's this is because we're all frustrated. When you go, it's like when you go buy those $19.99 flowers and they end up being $53, and you're like, how did that happen?
Homeland Barbie got fired.
Homeland Barbie got fired. After yesterday's debacle, you could see that coming.
Really?
Yep. Trump replaces Kristi Noem.
Yeah, Trump fires DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, replacing with Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin.
Former MMA fighter.
That's right.
Yeah. You better not mess with Markwayne Mullin.
No. You saw yesterday was an embarrassment.
What happened?
So she goes out and, first of all, the Tom Tillis, Republican, and several others hammered her over how much money she has spent, including $143 million for a company that was set up 8 days before. They got a no-bid win, so they were the only ones, right? So that nobody else had to bid on it. And that company turned out to be that they would go and they would subcontract with another company where it was her press secretary and her former chief of staff was running that other company. They asked her about Corey Lewandowski, and she gave a weird answer there. And she really embarrassed herself yesterday. It was embarrassing how she handled it. Plus, a lot of people, both on the right and left, said, look, you messed up stuff so bad in Minneapolis, and you lied to us about you didn't say this or didn't say that, that we just can't have it. And she didn't do well, and you knew this was going to come at some point in time. And it has come now. So she is gone.
And wasn't she supposedly living on a Coast Guard base and getting free housing?
Yeah, she had free housing. She was flying around in planes with like beds on it. I mean, she was living it up. But the $143 million, are you kidding me? A no-bid win for a company that was set up 8 days before? That's not fishy? She did not, and then all of the, every time you'd see her, she's in a new outfit. It was all performative, but it was all performative for her. So she's gone. Markwayne Mullin takes over for her. That was not a shock. I think we saw that coming yesterday. Trump was pissed.
Yeah, I saw some pretty prominent Republicans really hammering her. And probably the next shoe to drop, I'm seeing reports now that Speaker Mike Johnson and his top lieutenants are telling this Texas Republican he's got to step down.
He absolutely does. He 100% does. Because he finally confessed, Gonzalez, to what had happened. It was way worse. And they're doing an ethics investigation, but he's got to step down.
He's the one whose alleged mistress set herself on fire?
Yep, that's her.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's an ugly situation, no doubt. But they've got a lot of problems in some of these things. But that right there, what he did, right or left, I mean, we're going to talk about it later, too. The fact that they didn't, they kicked it back to committee. the resolution about let's get all of the sexual misconduct and all of these things out in the open that government hides. And they voted it down yesterday.
Well, yeah, can't expect them to hold themselves accountable.
No. It's a joke.
I wonder if she went home and shot a dog out of frustration.
You know what? Tom Tillis brought that up yesterday. Tom Tillis did. He brought it up because, well, I thought it was appropriate because I read her book that, we should talk about her killing Cricket the dog. You're like, oh, goodness me. All right, coming up, we'll have more of this. Trump has ousted Kristi Noem as, so there it goes. Bye, DHS Barbie. We wish you all the best. So she's gone. We'll talk a bit about that. Bunch of other stuff on the way. Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital is awesome. With all the chaos and craziness going on in the world, it's nice to know somebody's out there that can help protect what you work so hard for when it comes to your investments and your retirement. Bulwark would love to give you a free Know Your Risk portfolio review. They'll walk you through what it is they do. They'll look at your portfolio, show you what's going on there. Maybe you got extra fees. Maybe you're in positions you shouldn't be in. And they'll show you what they're all about. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility, and how they get you those upside potential. So that's what I want you to do. Go sign up for your Know Your Risk podcast review today. It's that simple. You go to Know Your Risk podcast, Know Your Risk podcast, and you sign up. It takes about an hour or so. They'll go through everything, give you that second, set of eyes. And it doesn't hurt to get a second opinion at all. It's absolutely free. KnowYourRiskPodcast.com. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Invest involved risk, not a guarantee. Past performance, not guarantee future results. Trek 2647.
All right, so we're going to have a full Operation Epic Fury update, but also the breaking news out of the White House. President Trump has decided to replace Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem with Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. We've got that, and then here in Tennessee, CVS is pushing back publicly against a bill that bans companies like CVS from setting their own prescription prices. That comes up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Perfect example of right there. That's the crony capitalism world, which is we control the pharmacy management, right? So the pharmacy, that's the middleman. And we negotiate with ourselves, but you also have to come, if you're a small little one, and negotiate with us. So you're a small one-off pharmacy. That's the way that works. Pharmacy benefit managers, it is, I don't get it. I mean, it's so bizarre. And they're pushing back. Well, we're going to have to close all of our stores. Really? A little desperate there? Just like, oh, God, we're going to have to close everything. You can't, you negotiate with yourself. And then you get to go out and negotiate with everybody else. Where our buying power's bigger, and look at all this stuff.
You negotiate with yourself, and suddenly you get what you asked for.
Yeah, how about that? And wait, I got to go. This little place over here only has 2 locations. They got to negotiate with our pharmacy, our benefits manager. So, which it's another layer of people peeling money off of stuff when it comes to us as Americans. All right, coming up, you heard it. Kristi Noem out. Department of Homeland Security. Man, if I were her dogs, I'd be hiding right now. What happened to Old Yeller? We didn't even get to the part where it fought anything. She just shot it at the beginning of the movie.
It didn't have rabies. She just wanted it gone.
So we'll talk about that, and we'll get the latest on Operation Epic Fury, among other stuff. Straight ahead, Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Drivers in Madison, we've got a stalled tractor trailer, and it is blocking the right 2 lanes of 65 northbound there at Old Hickory Boulevard, and that is causing a backup. Operation Epic Fury update in a moment, but right now, the breaking news out of the White House. President Trump says Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is stepping down at the end of the month. He's announced that Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen will take over the job March 31st. Noem's exit follows contentious hearings over a multi-million-dollar Department of Homeland Security ad campaign, about $250 million. She said the president approved, something the White House denied. Trump says Noem will move into a new role as special envoy for the Shield of the Americas. Now to Operation Epic Fury.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Nearly a week after launching airstrikes with Israel, targeting Iran's military and killing Iran's supreme leader, President Trump telling Axios he wants a say in who will take over as leader in Iran. An Iranian council is set to make that choice, and the Ayatollah's son is favored. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
The president, in an interview with Axios and then repeated in another interview with Reuters, has said that he needs to be involved in the process, in the appointment of the next leader in Iran, similar to what happened in Venezuela, as he puts it. He says that the Ayatollah's son is a lightweight and unacceptable to him.
The U.S. says strikes against Iran will continue to escalate. The State Department says the first charter flight it helped coordinate left Dubai, helping Americans trapped for days in the region get back to the U.S. But there are questions that the plane that landed in New York may have been partially chartered, as travelers said it was a commercial flight. This is ABC News.
Here in Tennessee, CVS is pushing back publicly against a bill that bans companies from owning pharmacy benefit managers and pharmacy retail stores. Here's News 2 and the new ad.
134 CVS pharmacies across Tennessee shut down, making healthcare less accessible for families like yours. Tell your state legislator. Vote no on SB 2040.
Well, SB 2040 separates financial control over prescription drug prices from the very business that dispenses medications. If approved by the legislature, the changes would not take effect until January 1st of 2028. And a proposal to ban kratom moving forward after families shared emotional stories with lawmakers yesterday. One mother described losing her 27-year-old son after he mixed kratom with prescription medication. TBI investigators chiming in.
Son didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know what he was taking. And he assumed because he bought it at a gas station that it was safe.
We're seeing increasing reports of kratom abuse, addiction involved in both fatal and non-fatal overdoses.
But News 2 says opponents argued a ban would just push the product underground and create even more risks.
A blanket ban sounds simple, but here's what it really does. It doesn't end demand, it ends oversight. People won't magically stop. It moves underground, and that's where there's no minimum age, no labels, no standards. And the products most likely that will remain are the altered and the unsafe ones, because those are the easiest to traffic and the hardest to trace.
So kratom acts as both a stimulant and an opioid-like depressant, and you have to be 21 years old to buy it in Tennessee. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Mark Wayne Mullen. Sounds like a serial killer. Whenever you get Wayne as your middle name, it kind of does, right?
I think that's actually part of his first name.
Oh, is it?
Like, I think his whole first name is Mark Wayne.
Oh.
Which, that's what you tend to do in Oklahoma.
So Mark Wayne Mullen, who's going to be the new DHS secretary. He was a UFC guy, right? I think he was a Marine.
Yep.
And I think he's competent is what we're going for, comparatively to what we had with her, because she was
competent would be an upgrade.
Yeah, it would be absolutely an upgrade. You know, I mean, she She struggled. Yesterday was the big. So yesterday they had this hearing because they wanted to ask her questions about, hey, what happened to all this money? Are you having sex with Corey Lewandowski? But they talk about shady.
Where's Safe America Media headquartered? I don't know. I don't know either, Madam Secretary. We can't find it. We can't find a website. The company is registered to a political operative in Virginia. Do you know, just by way of example, whether this company that received $143 million in taxpayer dollars, has it ever done work for the government before? I don't know. I can't. The answer is it has not. And do you know why we know that? Because it was incorporated 8 days before this contract went out. You want the American people to believe that this is all above board?
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you believe? And, Tom Tillis went after her hardcore, as he should have, as we all should have. $143 million, no bids. They just handed the contract over, and then that person took the contract, passed it on down the line to people she knows.
And we should know one of the other reasons why people are so suspicious of this is one of the subcontractors affiliated with that contract is a company run by the husband of her former spokeswoman, Tricia McLaughlin. What do you make of all this?
Well, look, I mean, let's also, I was sitting right next to John when he was asking the questions, and I don't think people picked up on how proud she was of making any decision over $100,000 in FEMA across her desk and any decision for Homeland Security over $15 million across her desk. How can you go from saying that you scrutinized everything in excess of $15 million and in the same 10-minute period say, I didn't know any of the details of a $200 million purchase? Yeah. This is somebody that is out of her depth and apparently only situationally interested in transactions over $15 million, except when it involves her family members or friends.
We are getting bilked by the amount of money we waste in this country on ridiculous things. I think we would be surprised. We'd be shocked on how much money we waste. Shocked.
And then we do nothing about it.
We do nothing about it. Then we go out and we spend more money on other things because that's what we do. We need, hey, like you said, more government. Well, with more government comes more dollars. So she is gone. And I don't think, the other thing was they grilled her yesterday because she was awful at her job. It was all about show. It was all performative. And Trump wasn't happy with the chaos that surrounded her. Why would you be happy with the chaos? Everywhere she went, you notice how they send Tom Homan in? Everything calms down. And several people brought that up. You were so bad at this, they had to bring Tom Homan in. Tom Homan comes in. What happens? Everything calms down. Stuff gets done. Because she goes there and, she flies in on her plane, right? Every time you turn around, the amount of money that they were spending on commercials and all of this stuff, it was crazy. And it wasn't leading to results, which is what government doesn't have to lead to results. They have all the money they can print. You don't need results, I guess. And she's out. Now Pam Bondi has to go. Several of you chimed in. Pam Bondi needs to go.
Well, the thing is, she's not even out. She's just been moved somewhere else.
Are you ready for this? I know I looked it up. Shields of America. Let's take a look at the Shields of America. It is Shields of America refers primarily to Native American Comanche. What? Is that what she's doing? No, it is some sort of summit that they're going to be doing with a Latin American strategy. And now she's going to go over there and do what?
Spend millions on tacos.
Oh, yeah. I could go for some tacos. I could. Somebody said, let's not forget about Minnesota and California fraud. Absolutely. It's insane. The fraud. And you know why? Because the money is so plentiful, nobody cares. Nobody cares until later on when they go, hey, we should audit. Hey, we gave this group over here to try to get the homeless off the streets in California $1 billion. Let's go see if they did that. Did you get anybody off the thing? No, I don't know. We didn't keep track. You didn't keep track. What? That is government. It's unlimited funds. But now we got a war to pay for. So let's see what that looks like. Kind of money that's going to cost us. Yesterday, it was embarrassing that they did not do. So they have this. Nancy Mace and them try to get this thing, a resolution for us to get a comprehensive look at people that are in government that have done things that have cost us, the taxpayers, money when it comes to sexual misconduct, and they shot it down. They shot it down and put it back in committee.
What was it, 367 to 65?
Something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, with all the stuff going on with Epstein, you guys decided that no, you weren't going to do this? And this is on the heels of Tony Gonzalez, who really lied about his relationship, and this is the guy from Texas, for the lady that lit herself on fire. And now, as Ken pointed out, they're starting to put serious pressure on him to step down. And I'm fascinated that they won't, like, that person's not stepping down. Tony Gonzalez. After all of that, I'm fascinated. You're not going to do it? No. This is Burchett and them talking about it.
The House just did the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. We just voted to cover up sexual harassment of employees by members, if you can believe that. I got the sponsor right here with me, got Bobert. Y'all tell them what happened.
It's shameful. They voted against my resolution that would reveal members of Congress who sexually harass employees on the Hill, women on the Hill, in the campaigns, lobbyists, etc. Shameful.
Shameful. Shameful. They blew it out. Done. No, we're not gonna do this. We're gonna send it back to committee. And it shows you everything you need to know. Some of them voted present. Some of them didn't even vote. And their reasoning is, hey, you know what? Some of these, it's going to traumatize some people if this stuff gets out. No, you don't want to air your laundry that's dirty. It's not the first time people have been called out for the amount of money that they have this slush fund that pays off all of these young, mostly women, but some of them guys, to the tunes of hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars for being sexually harassed by the power brokers, not just the politicians, but at times lobbyists and everybody else. And you don't want that to get out there. I mean, that says so much right there. So much. So much.
The resolution would have directed the House Ethics Committee to preserve all documents and investigative materials related to violations or alleged violations of sexual harassment rules of the House of Representatives. Then the resolution would have required that same House Ethics Committee to publicly release all of the reports, conclusions, draft reports, recommendations, and all accompanying materials within 60 days of adoption. The resolution would have also required personally identifiable information of victims or alleged victims to be redacted to protect their privacy.
And we know how well they do that. They don't. By the way, speaking of Pam Bondi, she's got to testify now about Epstein, along with Lutnick.
But the Dow's not over 50K.
No, Dow's down 1,000 We're at 47.
Yeah, I don't know what she's going to fall back on now.
No. That is just, yeah. What is she going to be able to do? The Dow is not at 50, guys. How does she survive?
She'll walk in and go, but we killed Khomeini.
Yeah, that's right. We killed him. Yes, we did. That's how we do it.
The Dow is over 50,000.
Well, it may be over 50. Oh, it's not. It's not. Things are better. They're not, guys. It's a shame. It's at 47 something right now. Oil's up near $80. And you got to watch that oil.
How much of an increase is that?
Well, we're probably looking at, I mean, it's up, what was that, 60? So we're up about 20-ish%. And, you know, what do they say? It rises like it rises like a ball, goes straight up in the air, but then when the gas prices come down, it's like a feather. So, because people are trying to buy in advance. And then you got to take into account, it's that time of the year where they switch over to the summer blend. And so what happens? All these refineries go offline, which causes there to be a shortage at times of getting gas. So that is going to cause an issue as well. So you have all of these things kind of hitting as a head. And, you know, I mean, my wife, she's going to Costco today. She's going to fill up, but I've seen gas prices. They've jumped. And then you got to think about diesel. We've had several, drivers reach out about diesel going up 30, 40 cents over the weekend, which causes what? Prices to go up, which causes what? Inflation, which causes us to have issues. So, but the Dow, not at 50.
The Dow is over.
No, it's not. 47,000. 47,000. Yeah, fire Bondi. Yeah, she needs to go. Bondi, absolutely. And see, I think too, being in front of in these hearings and being awful at them, but I think it really, Trump was not thrilled by the look of the money and the cost. And she said, oh, yeah, the White House said it was okay. And the White House was like, no, we didn't. No, we didn't. They'd probably go, we did, but you're not supposed to say that. We can't have that. God,
you never pass the buck upwards.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to get on this gravy train. I mean,
it's a lot simpler than going out and catching a tuna.
Yeah, it is, especially because.
Well, I'm going to eat all the bait.
Yeah, and you didn't even go get us our boat today.
Yeah, you failed at your prime directive.
Boat.
Where's our boat, Ken?
Oh,
I don't have a hitch on my Elantra.
44. Mike H says his gas is up 44 cents per gallon. Diesel over $4 in Murfreesboro. So, all y'all talk bad about the Republican Party and hardly even mention the insane policies of the Democrats. Because the Democrats aren't in charge. They're not in charge. Are they? The power is currently with the Republicans. So that's who, if they do something stupid, shouldn't we be able to call them out? Or is that, no, that's right. I'm sorry, we can't.
That's the problem is, people want to vote for somebody, but then they don't want to hold them accountable.
Yeah. Well, it's because of the identity.
In the eyes of public opinion.
Yeah. Because you get wrapped up in your identity. And the identity, you've made your identity.
It's like saying, well, I can't say anything bad about that guy because I voted for him, and that makes it look like I'm part of the problem.
No, you're part of the solution. Hold people accountable to that you put in there. Never fall in love with a politician, fall in like. It's just a problem with the Democrats and Black Americans. They continued to do whatever they wanted to Black America by promising them everything, delivering nothing. And they should have been held accountable. Right? They just abandoned him. Why? Because they knew you're never going to go over there, so I don't need to do anything for you. And that's the failure. If you don't hold them accountable and you don't call them out for BS, you do the same thing to your kid, I hope. Well, today's world, probably not. Because their kids, nobody's kid does anything wrong. My kids are always doing something wrong. Always. Well, Lily's not. Charlie's she's just fire. But Jack's usually getting himself in a little bit of trouble. All right, coming up, more on Mark Wayne Mullen, going to replace Noam as DHS secretary. We'll talk a bit about that. We've got a bunch of other good stuff on the way. Gas prices are up. We're getting rid of the West Bank, calling it Judea and Samaria. That's always nice. Several people chimed in and goes, we're not really doing that. Yes, we really are, because that is important. We don't need potholes fixed. We need to make sure that the people who called the West Bank aren't offended by the fact that we don't call it Judea and Samaria. Chad Benson Show. All right, guys, talk about Omaha Steaks right now. Delivered to you protein that is delicious, fantastic, and the best when it comes to things like fillets wrapped in bacon, USDA choice, tender. How about Polynesian pork chops? We're having that this weekend. Smash burgers. They've got them all. Yes, seafood, you name it. They've got it all ready for you. 50% off site-wide right now. You go to omahasteaks.com. 50% off site-wide. You're also going to get 100% unconditional money-back guarantee, which is incredible. And check this out. When you go to checkout, omahasteaks.com, what's the code? Benson. What do you get? Another $35 off at checkout. So it's 50% off site-wide, delivered right to your door, unconditional money-back guarantee, and an extra $35 off at checkout. Think about how much you're going to be saving with the amount of meat and protein that you're going to get from seafood to fillets to even getting taco. You can order special stuff just for tacos. It is awesome. Go to omahasteaks.com now. Use my code Benson. When you do get an extra $35 off, it's already 50% off site-wide. omahasteaks.com, code Benson. Terms may apply. See site for details.
All right, drivers in Madison still got that stalled tractor trailer blocking the right two lanes of 65 northbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. Got an Operation Epic Fury update. Also, the breaking news, President Trump is replacing Kristi Noem as Department of Homeland Security Secretary. All this and more at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yeah, Bondi needs to go next. I'm surprised she's stuck around that long. I am. After the whole debacle with Epstein, and now if you guys don't know, because the Epstein stuff isn't going anywhere. The rest of the world is continuing to dig in, but obviously the war, Operation Epstein Furies, is going on. But that's not going anywhere, and they're going to drag her in and, give her a once-over and say, what's the deal with this, I mean, you put stuff out there, then you redact it, then you take it away. I mean, it seems fishy.
And the second time you release files, you didn't even put them in a nice little binder.
Yeah, you didn't do that. Hey, guys, tomorrow I'm going to be bringing in, I'm going to go get us some of those, was it the Big Arch? I'm going to go get us some of those tomorrow.
All right.
All right, so we're going to do the Big Arch. Everybody, now every hamburger place is getting into it. This is, Wendy's is into the game.
Hi, I'm Pete. I thought I'd come down to our kitchen here at Wendy's to try Baconator today. Of course, we're starting with our Wendy's square patty, fresh, never frozen beef. Absolutely nothing better. Oh, of course, you gotta have a Frosty with a burger. Is this set up today? Oh, wait, our machines are always working. I've been waiting for this all day. Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef, our Applewood smoked bacon, our brand new bun, our square burger cooked on a flat grill. Amazing, absolutely wonderful. That's a burger.
That's a burger.
This is exactly the way a great hamburger should be.
Oh, Wendy's. I love Wendy's.
Then he told somebody to go clean the bathroom.
Yeah, he did. He also said, because he had stuff all over his face. Then the A&W guy did it. The Burger King guy, he went and did it. And he's very excited about the new boxes because he wants it to look really good.
Yeah.
And then you've got a bunch of other people out there that are going, because the burger wars are heating up.
Yes, sir.
Like if we're going to have, that's the kind of war I think we can all dig into.
I'm all about it. It should be a war about flavor and cost.
Yes. Cost. Absolutely cost. So the Big Arch looks good. It does. It looks really good. It looks it's like a quarter pounder with 2 things of meat, and then it's got, the lettuce and everything, but it's got a new tangier sauce with white cheddar cheese. So we're going to try some of those. Although the Baconator, man, when he took a bite out of the Baconator, I'm like, I love the Baconator. Because it's bacon. Ooh. It's all the best food groups that aren't Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. My wife today, she's like, are you okay? I said, yeah. I said, I'm just exhausted. I'm a little hungry. She goes, you want me to make some? I said, no. She goes, you want me to make you some cracker and peanut butter? I'm like, no peanut butter. Shame. I feel shame. Shame. I ate that whole thing.
It's about time.
Yeah, it took me a while. It was my version of kratom.
Brother Chad, you're going to have nightmares now that you're riding on a mastodon and it gets stuck in some quicksand that's really peanut butter.
Oh, yeah. That would be horrible. But you know what? I'll eat my way out of there.
I was going to say, all you got to do is start chopping.
We're going to save you. No, I'm all right. We're good.
You pull a big spoon out of your backpack.
Somebody throws you a rope, and you're like, no, throw me a spoon instead.
Yeah, I can do this, guys. I don't need any help. I'm fine. What was that movie? Was it The Life of Brian?
Yeah.
Where they go to the convent, and he's there, and they want to do things to him, and they're like, we're here to save you. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm I'm fine. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Monty Python.
Oh, phenomenal. Coming up, we got a lot of other stuff. We'll talk a little about what's going on with the war. What's that look like? How much longer are we going to be there? What is the potential for this thing to drag on for months? God, I hope it's not months. We'll talk a little bit about that. A bunch of other stuff on the way as well. Reach out to us, of course, all of our social media. Like and subscribe to all of our stuff. Rumble. We got the old TikTok. No, we don't have TikTok yet. Yeah, we do have TikTok, do we? No. We got Twitter. Or X, whatever the hell it's called. Facebook.
And Twitch.
That's right. And the Twitch. And the Twitch, kids, of course, YouTube as well. Chad Benson, Super Talk, 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Operation Epic Fury update in a moment. But first, the breaking news out of D.C. President Trump is moving to replace Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem with Oklahoma Republican U.S. Senator Markwayne Mullin. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the latest.
Sources say the president was upset over this exchange at a Senate hearing Tuesday, which had Kristi Noem telling Louisiana Republican John Kennedy that the president knew she'd be appearing in a $220 million DHS ad campaign.
To me, it puts the president in a terribly awkward spot.
Kennedy later told reporters the president told him he remembered things differently. And senior administration officials tell ABC News the president did not sign off on the ad campaign. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Operation Epic Fury update. Iran stepping up its retaliation today, firing missiles at Israel, threatening wider attacks across the Middle East. Days after his initial strikes killed the Iranian supreme leader, President Trump now interjecting himself in the search for the country's newest leader. Here's ABC's Karen Travers.
The president, in an interview with Axios and then repeated in another interview with Reuters, has said that he needs to be involved in the process, in the appointment of the next leader in Iran, similar to what happened in Venezuela, as he puts it. He says that the Ayatollah's son is a lightweight and unacceptable to him.
Here in Tennessee, a bill that would require Charlie Kirk memorials on every public college campus has been sent to summer study, which could mean it's never going to happen. The institutions claimed it would cost taxpayers $18 million. The bill's sponsor, Kingston Republican State Rep Monty Fritz, telling WTN's Chris Hanshow that's an exaggerated figure, he thinks by design.
This was evidence, brother, that our academic industrial complex needs a reconciliation in Tennessee. They think they're going to continue to pollute our children's minds with wokeism and atheism and communism, and that we can't do a damn thing about it. That's what they think.
Fritz, who's running for governor, says if he's elected governor, he'll withhold funding from colleges and universities for what he says are woke, atheistic, and communist policies. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
United Structural Systems isn't just another repair company. They're your local foundation and waterproofing experts, right? They live here, they work here, and they understand exactly how Tennessee soil, weather, and homes behave. And they've been here for a while, since 1994, serving so many people, 30-plus years, 30,000 local homeowners. They've got it going on. They know exactly what they're doing. That's why people trust USS. And that experience, well, it means that they've seen everything out there. So what are you going to do, right? You know, every crack out there, they talk about, it tells a story. Every leak, USS knows what's going on. They know what those signs are. Foundation, settlement, basement water intrusion, crawl space, moisture issues, and so much more. No guesswork, just expert diagnosis from the people who know Tennessee homes. So what are you waiting for? If you got any issue right now with your home or you're worried about it, call USS today, 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, or visit them online at ussTN.com. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So, Operation Epic Fury continuing to go on. I was asking you guys earlier, what's the end game? I don't know how Trump thinks he's going to be able to pick their next leader. I don't think that's, what the people want. Because remember, we did that before. For those of you guys who don't know, the Shah was our leader. We picked him. And then it led to hell. So I thought the goal was to free them, which, whatever the goal is that they talked about. I just don't know how does he think he's going to do it? I mean, the Shah's son, who would like to be, he has no support in the country. People may want, oh yeah, why not? But he would be in so much trouble within moments. And the Kurds going in there is going to be interesting because, us arming them is potentially down the road a civil war waiting to happen. Because you do have some opposition groups inside of there. And like anything, right? You go, you fight, and you maybe take down the IRGC. Okay, if you go and do that, then what? Well, then everybody's going to want to be the leader. And then everybody's standing there where they all fought together, but then they're enemies immediately. So you got to ask yourself, my thing is, what is the end game? What is the end game? Do we have any idea what the end game actually looks like? Because I don't. I have no idea what the end game looks like. I have no idea. Does it look like we just basically destroy their entire nation? We chop it up to bits and pieces and hand it to the Kurds and several others? Probably not. And remember, all they have to do is survive. And I'm not even talking about the Ayatollah's son, the other Khomeini. Call him Bob. No, that was Baghdad Bob. Remember Baghdad Bob? Yeah, not him. But, all they have to do is survive. Every day, that's a win for them. So what is the end game here? How do we dismount? The thing with Putin, at first, you thought he was looking for an off-ramp, but now he doesn't have to worry about an off-ramp. But he's been there for how long? He thought it was going to be a week. Remember what Rumsfeld said? We could be here in Iraq for, 6 days, 6 weeks, no more than 6 months. And hello. So how do we dismount? Because we've like it or not, we're in it. So what does that mean? It's going to be hard to change regime from the skies. I mean, that much is evident. And, everybody, Trump's saying, well, they said that they want to negotiate. That's what Trump said. Their financial minister said, yeah, no, we don't have to negotiate. Why should we negotiate? He was on earlier today on NBC talking about this. Why do we have to negotiate? We don't have to negotiate. We don't have to do anything because it's up to them at this point in time. So what is it? We're going to bomb them and kill hundreds of thousands and then move in and replace the leader with a leader? Because the fear is you replace it with somebody you think can be your puppet. Then they rise up and they overthrow it. And then you're back to the same place.
Right now, you're saying Iran does not want a ceasefire.
We are not asking for a ceasefire. And we don't see any reason why we should negotiate with the U.S. When we negotiated with them twice, and every time they attacked us at the middle of negotiations. So there is no request for a ceasefire by us, and there is no request for the negotiation with the U.S. From us. We have never sent any messages to them.
Minister, you said that Iran cannot reach U.S. soil, right? The American homeland with the weapons that you have right now. Is there any other way that Americans should be concerned that Iran could attack the American homeland?
No, they have enough bases around us. Why we should go further than that? They have enough soldiers. They have enough, military assets, and they have enough military bases in military installations. So we don't need to go beyond that.
Because we're everywhere. I mean, how many bases do we have globally? What's that cost us a day?
I think it's 152.
Is that what it is?
I think.
Oh, if only there was a machine. Bases do we have globally? And I think you're right. Well, total overseas presence. We were wrong. It's 750.
Bases?
Yeah, 750 to 877 bases in 80 countries globally. That is
stupid.
That's a lot right there. We're all over the place. So my question, though, is like, what is our dismount? What is, because we don't stick the landing. Rarely do we, stick the landing. And we're not going to blow them up to regime. And Trump wants to pick their, he wants to go and pick it. Okay, that's, great. But what if the people don't like him? Well, tough. We've got to be able to deal with him. And it's not the same as, because remember, it was all about regime change or whatever we were doing down in Venezuela. We've done nothing. We replaced an idiot with somebody who's more competent. He was like a bus driver and a revolutionary. She's like an attorney. She's been extremely educated, and her and her brother are very powerful. And now, they're just going to, what's Venezuela getting out of it? So the question here is, okay, so we put somebody in place. What happens if it, I thought the thing was, even Lindsey Graham, who's out there every day shouting it's some new reason we're fighting. What does it look like? And he said, well, they should be able to pick their own. Well, Trump is saying, he's telling Axios, he's telling the AP and everybody else, no, I want to have a hand in that. And we wouldn't want somebody to have a hand in ours. So what does it look like? What is the end game? That's the question, because how do we get off this ride that when all is said and done may cost us $200 billion, although Bell said it probably cost us $1 trillion. Because if you're going to go big, man, you got to go big. You got to go big. And what's another $1 trillion between friends?
I have a degree of OCD, and 39 trillion just really sets it off. Got to get to an even 40, and then I'll be able to relax a little bit.
Yeah. So an even 40. Somebody said, what does a decent outcome look like to you? The decent outcome is we wouldn't have got involved, but now that we're in it. And to have a regime change, you're going to have boots on the ground to go in there. And a decent outcome would be us pulling back and those people, best outcome, I would say that maybe the Kurds do enough damage and some of the opposition, and that they find somebody from within who can take over, who the people look up to, but I don't know who that is. It's not like there's a lot of them popping out. It's not like you're finding a lot of these, because Trump wasn't thrilled by the Shah son. And, he talked about the one or two other ones they looked at, they kind of blowed up already. They done blowed them up. So now the question is, who can you identify somebody in there that will, maybe the financial minister. That guy seems to be okay. Maybe him. Maybe that's the guy you go to and say, hey, would you be part of the transition party that holds it in place for a year? We're going to help you. Because here's the other thing. Now that we've broke it, we're going to want to get in there with our people, help them rebuild whatever there needs to be rebuilt, help them with their safe nuclear, which they've talked about. And then from there, have an election of some sort. By the way, they're a theocracy. The clerics had the last say, but they have actual elections. They had a president. We blew him up. He was the last member of the members-only club. Ahmadinejad, or whatever his name was. They blew his ass up.
Ahmadinejad.
Yeah, they done blowed him up. So I think that's the best thing. You're going to have a bridge, but you've got to. But then what happens if the people pick somebody who's not aligned, most importantly, with Israel? Because that's the big part. You got to be aligned with Israel. Maybe it is the financial minister. That guy seems to be everywhere. He talks to everybody. He seems to have a good grasp on things, and I think he's somebody you can sit down and talk with. And chances are he's got relationships already with the powers that be in our government, and we go from there. I think that may be the best outcome. Though, obviously the worst outcome is we're here a year from now still talking about this. But we can't. I mean, I don't know. We can't. And we did the math, by the way, and the mathed out to about $90 to $135 a paycheck if we were to pay as we go. So we got to pay as we go if we were going to do that for our, essentially, buy here, pay here when it comes to our rockets and stuff. I wonder what Raytheon's doing right now. What's their stock at?
Building more bombs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Raytheon, their stock has got to be doing okay. Let's see here. I mean, you would think they were doing all right. The Raytheon stock currently sits at, let's see how many of these people, this is $202. What is it year to date? Oh, yeah, they've had a nice spike. They were $195 in February, and they spiked out at $212. So go buy those things when you can. It's good. It's just because the machine continues to roll on. And that's the scary thing. All right, coming up. She's gone. She's gone. Whoa. Kristi Noem is out. Yes, she is, because she's out. And she killed a dog.
If they were dead, Hall & Oates would be rolling over in their grave.
I was watching some with them the other day. I thought, Oates did most, he's the one who's owns a lot of the stuff and did a lot of the writing and has, he's worth more than Daryl is. Daryl's a little bit more personable and he looks good.
Well, he's sold his half of the ownership, so he was able to make a lot more money.
Yeah, but I was surprised about how much of the stuff that because he was talking about how much he wrote on his own that was his. He was on that Professor of Rock who they try to take down every single day.
Did you see who's going to take Dee Snider's place in Twisted Sister?
I saw that, Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Ken?
I did see that.
Sebastian Bach.
I don't know what I think about that.
What happened? First of all, does anybody else know, outside of you, Beltanica, who else is in the band?
Yeah, I don't even know if they still have their original.
No.
They have the two original guitarists, JJ and Eddie. Eddie actually lives here.
Yeah, and he's got some good hot sauce, too, by the way.
The original bass player, but their original drummer had passed away, and they have somebody else in the band. Obviously.
I don't know how I feel, because Dee Snider is such an integral part of all of that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. I mean, I'm sure Sebastian will be okay.
Sure.
But it's going to sound,
I'd rather Skid Row stay together or get back together.
Skid Row.
I freaking loved Skid Row.
They hate each other.
Why do they hate each other? Why can't people get along?
I know.
So, Teresa Broyles-Applin, she's going to be the new Supreme Leader. You know what? That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
We voted her in. She's going to be your new leader. And then within 3 weeks, there'll be no oil left.
Teresa, we found you a new job. You can go ahead and resign.
Yeah, that's right. So, that's crazy. That is crazy. It's going to be great. You're going to love her. She's a good person. She's really good at her job, kind of like Kristi Noem was. But we've got rid of Kristi because she lied. She's a liar. Pants is on fire. Stop buying leather pants. Stop working on your face, Kristi. You look like a person who looks like Kristi. Sports and Program is brought to you by National Certified Alarms and Long-Term Contracts. License number 645. Chet Bench, Super Talk 997. Relief Factor is awesome. Take it every single day. In fact, this morning, I really pushed myself the last couple of days, and I got my Relief Factor last night, and thank goodness, because, Man, I was struggling a little bit, man. My body was sore. I was running up and down the stairs, doing some stuff as I'm working out a little bit harder. And whoa, Relief Factor focuses on inflammation, right? So the pathways when there's inflammation, it's naturally formulated. You can take it every single day. It's not addictive, and it is going to take away those aches and the pains, especially when it comes to inflammation with your muscles and your joints, just for everyday living and sometimes a little bit more exertion out there. So what you try right now is a 3-week Jumpstart bag. You will feel the difference because too many people live in pain. It's got omega-3 fatty acids, resveratrol, all this incredible stuff that is going to help you get rid of that everyday aches and pains. It does it for my listeners, and it has done for a long time. You will feel a difference. Get out of pain and start living in a better way with Relief Factor. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800, the number 4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
President Trump firing Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. We've got a full report on that. We've got a full report on Operation Epic Fury and a full report on why there may never be a Charlie Kirk Memorial on every Tennessee public college campus. We'll tell you about that coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Speaking of Mark Wayne Mullen, the new DHS leader.
I am super excited about this opportunity. It came at not a complete surprise, but it came at a little bit of surprise for us.
It's not a surprise, but it is a surprise. It's like kratom. It gets you both high and down, low. So
I was aware it might be coming, but I was glad it did.
It wasn't until right at the very end.
He might have been talking about the actual firing.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that was coming.
Yeah. How could you not? She was awful at her job. And take away the amount of money that she wasted on commercials and crap like that.
$220 million.
Commercials, $143 million to her friends and family. Woo, I want that discount. And what are they for? I think it was Sandra or Sally said, yeah, you don't see him running IRS commercials. It's like, what is that for? That's all for her ego because she was performative. That's all she was. She was performative. She was nothing else. $220+ million. And you were crappy at your job. It's not like, well, she's expensive, but she gets the job done. It was everywhere she went. It was a nightmare. She caused, she would go in there. She would, rail on everybody. If anybody, this person's a domestic terrorist. This person's this. And she was a nightmare. They send Tom Homan in. Boom.
Tom was always willing to say what needed to be said, but he could throw just enough diplomacy in to make it sound like he was being nice.
Yeah.
Like when he was calling AOC an idiot when he was testifying that one time.
Yeah.
And it was over her head.
But he gets the job done.
Yeah, and he's been at this for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. He was, by the way, he was Obama's deporter-in-chief.
Deporter-in-chief.
He was the guy that handled everything for Obama. So you bring him in, you settle it, and get it done. And now we'll see how, Mark Wayne does. All right, coming up, hour number 3 of the program. Chad Bensio, Super Talk 99.7.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Got a full Operation Epic Fury update in a moment. First, in a social media post today, President Trump announcing he's firing Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, who will be replaced at the end of the month by Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin. Mullin says he's ready.
The president and I, as you guys know, we're great friends, and we get along great. I look forward to working with him and his cabinet. Of course, we still got to go through this little thing called confirmation. And we're going to get started on it right away.
Sources say the president was upset over an exchange at a Senate hearing on Tuesday, which had Kristi Noem telling Louisiana Republican John Kennedy that the president knew she was appearing in a $220 million Department of Homeland Security ad campaign.
To me, it puts the president in a terribly awkward spot.
Well, the White House denied prior knowledge of that. Kennedy says Trump called him shortly after to ask about Mullin as a replacement for Noem. This is now the first major firing that we have seen in the president's second term. Operation Epic Fury, days after his initial strikes killed the Iranian supreme leader, President Trump now says he has to be involved in the appointment of the next leader. A departure from his previous comments to the Iranian people, says ABC's Karen Travers.
Now, the president, in the first video he put out on Saturday after the strikes were launched, said, when we are finished, take over your government. His message to the Iranian people was, it will be yours to take. We also heard him say this week that he made a promise to the Iranian people, and he says, I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you. But now he is saying he's going to inject himself in this process, that it is not just up to the Iranian people, and that he wants to have a say in this.
Another new development, the State Department has ordered the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait closed after retaliatory Iranian strikes. Here in Tennessee, a bill to require Charlie Kirk memorials on every public college campus has been sent to summer study, which could mean it's never going to happen. The institutions claim it will cost taxpayers $18 million. The bill's sponsor, Kingston Republican State Rep Monty Fritz, telling WTN's Chris Hanshow that's an exaggerated figure by design.
And they think that they can send back a note. And not only are they going to bully our 19-year-olds that we've sent off to learn to think, they're going to bully the General Assembly. Unfortunately, my colleagues let them get by with it. They sent it to a summer study that will never take place.
Fritz, who is running for governor, says if he is elected, he will withhold funding from colleges and universities over what he says are woke, atheistic, and communist policies. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. This portion of the program is brought to you by NCA, National Certified Alarms and Long-Term Contracts, license number 645. So Mark Wayne Mullen's going to take over DHS. So the way it works, there's a new law in Oklahoma where Governor Stent can just replace him with no special election. So that was the worry, because if they had to have a special election, you know, they would be down a person.
So he'll just finish out.
No, he'll just go straight there, and then they'll.
I mean, the person that replaces him will just finish out the term.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and the term is not, well, I mean, you're already there. So who's the lucky one?
Just as long as it's not my football coach.
Oh, what, does he want to run?
No, I was just joking.
But you never know, right? Was it Tuberville one? You know, he was over there, and now he wants to be governor.
I'm pretty sure Brent Venables just wants to coach.
Good. Do it. Brent Venables for running defense. Pam Bondi, a lot of people, Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi. She should be next.
Yeah, so is there a poly market on her, Brother Chad?
Yeah, let's take a look at the poly market. And by the way, so poly market said, okay, so you got poly market yesterday. We were talking about this. They didn't pay out the $54 million. Poly market and Kalshi. Kalshi is regulated by the CFTC. That's like that's the commodities exchange.
Yeah.
They don't allow you to bet on death. So there's no ghoul pool. So that's why they say they're not paying everybody out. And even though It was he was going to be replaced. Everybody assumed once you blew him up that he was being replaced. It's not the same thing. But the poly market for her has to be, God, how could she? I can't believe they didn't get rid of her first. You know why? Because here's the thing. She's a hot mess. And you don't want her to be.
Who knows what she's going to do?
Yeah, you don't want her to be pissed off and angry. Right? Okay. Poly market for her right now isn't very 8% chance she's out by the 31st of this month. But it's growing. Can't believe she's there. I can't believe. So, let's see here. Presidential election winner, 2028, poly market, J.D. Vance, 21, Gavin Newsom, 15. Will Iran close the Strait of Hormuz? They haven't closed it, but there's nobody there.
Yeah, because I guess they're probably afraid of getting shot.
Yes. And on top of that, they have flooded it, I guess, with mines and whatnot. So they're, they're going to make everything hell over there. I mean, what would you do? I mean, remember, all they have to do is survive. Because every day, what happens? We get a little bit more like, I don't know if we should be there. The next thing you know, it starts calling. Then we start seeing how much money it costs. And then, if we have, men and women who end up dying, as we already have at 6, some severely injured, we start going, because if you want to go back, Vietnam, much like Afghanistan for the Russians, the people said, we've had enough of this. We've had enough. We've had enough. We don't want to see, body bags coming home. And it was the Russian moms that went absolutely apoplectic because of how many were being killed in Afghanistan. So I don't know how Trump thinks he's going to be able to pick their next leader. Because I thought the whole process was, we're going to free you and we're going to give you the chance. This is your one chance. You better take it. How do you square that with everybody? Because what ends up happening is, and this is how many times we saw this in Iraq, we saw this in Afghanistan. Remember in Afghanistan when we were leaving, their prime minister, their president was on the plane with all the gold leaving before us because they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, because Biden announced when they were going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're going to see what happens with this. This was not a shock, though. She embarrassed herself. Old Kristi Noem. People are like, but she's so pretty. I'm like, again, that's a relative term. Is she pretty? Based on what?
What do we change her name to? Is it Shield Barbie now?
Oh, yeah, because she's going to run Shield. That's not the Avengers,
What
right?
happened to Nick Fury?
That's what I've said. People have been asking, what is Nick Fury? Is he going to run Department of Homeland Security? Why didn't we just give it to Tom Homan?
It's a good question. Maybe Tom doesn't want it.
Maybe not. Maybe he's got other things going on.
It's not like he hasn't done the job before. Maybe he's like, I don't want to do it again.
Which I understand. I mean, I do. I understand that, why you might want to. And you've got a good thing right now. So, and Mark Wayne Mullen, what's he going to do? Is he going to come in hard? Is he going to be strategically smarter than her? She was all performative. All performative.
And who are we going to replace him with when we find out he's a serial killer?
Yeah, because of the 3 names. But I think you're right, Ken. I think you pointed out. I think his first name is Mark Wayne.
Yeah, it's Mark Wayne.
That's
first
interesting.
name.
That's his. Because remember when you were a kid and they would yell at you, right? And
Yeah,
anytime parents used the middle name, you were like, "Uh-oh, I'm in some serious trouble.
Getting it, boy.
I might get beat." Oh, my God! If I heard my middle name, I was like, "No!"
Start running the other direction.
Just no, this can't happen. No. I think the name Wayne, too. When you say the name Wayne, everybody thinks of John Wayne Casey. for serial killers.
Or Ted Wayne Bundy.
Yeah. Everybody. Who was the guy in Atlanta? Wasn't his name Wayne, too?
Yeah. I can't remember the actual last name, but
the child killer?
That's right.
Yeah. See?
I got to look that up.
It's one of those things, man. Don't name your kid Crystal or, that just screams with the Lynn is the middle name, because all that means is she's going straight to the pole.
Straight to the pole.
Straight to the pole. You put a Wayne in the middle name, chances are there's a wife beater and there's somebody buried underneath the boards in the house.
Wayne Bertram Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Bertram?
Yep.
Stewie's twin on
Yeah,
Family Guy?
Bertram. That's right. Isn't his name Gilligan?
Stewie's middle name is Gilligan.
Yeah. Sean Ryan for Homeland Security. No, Sean Ryan wants nothing to do with the Trump administration. He's made that abundantly clear after the whole Epstein stuff. Wayne Williams, that was him. Wayne Williams. She is pretty in the sense that I'd like to see her naked, says Jason.
That's about Jason's speed.
It's about your speed right there. I get it. Bruce Wayne. Oh, that's right. He's a serial killer. Kind of is, right?
Well, that's not a middle name.
Still, it's got Wayne in there. He's a bit of a serial killer. John Wayne killed a whole bunch of people on TV. It's all happening. What about Dewey Wayne? John Wayne Babbitt? Oh, that's right. That's the guy. Is that the guy that had his wiener cut off?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, how mad do you have to make somebody to chop your wiener off?
I do not want to find out.
Wow. That was crazy. That was. And then he did adult films after they reattached it. Because that's the world we live in.
See, it still works.
There you go. That's the world we live in. New Supreme Leader, by the way, Poly Market. The volume in some of these things is crazy. Oh, yeah, Kristi Noem. A lot of people won that. A lot of people won that today. So, whoo. They paid $104,000 today.
Wow.
In the Poly Market for Kristi Noem being gone. Brooke Rollins was number 2. Isn't she the ag secretary?
Yes, I believe so.
Why would you get rid of her? Doug Burgum. How is Hegseth? If I was to look at any of these people, I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, she's been a waste of space. Because everything she, Iran, she wanted nothing to do with Iran. She talked about that for a long time, and nobody listens. Susie Wiles, no, you're not getting rid of her. Linda McMahon, she's still not got rid of the education department, Ken.
Yeah.
She's got to try better than that. Scott Bessent, no. Kristi Noem was number 1, but Brooke Rollins is number 2. Why would Brooke Rollins be number 2? How bad do you have to be the ag secretary?
I never hear anything about her.
No. That's one of those ones where you're yeah. And then you get it. Usually you're also the one that gets to be the designated survivor.
Yeah, the ag secretary.
Isn't that what's his name was? And designated survivor of the show, wasn't he the undersecretary?
I don't remember if he was the agriculture secretary, but he was way down the list.
Yeah, he was the undersecretary to the ag secretary. It was one of those things. That's pretty cool. And then they made him president. She is a smoke show, says several people. She is a smoke show. Absolutely, she was. She was absolutely. She was so much about the performance and never the results. And under her watch, Americans got shot. Americans got killed. And most importantly for her, she got a star in a whole bunch of commercials, apparently, to the tune of almost $250 million.
I wonder what she paid herself for being in those commercials.
That's what I want to know. What did you pay yourself? How much did you... Because she didn't do it for free. And like you said, she was living on a Coast Guard base.
And I guarantee you, if she got questioned on that, it would be well, we would have had to have paid a actor to do it, so why shouldn't I get that money if I do it?
Yeah, because you're not Charlize Theron. You shouldn't get $200,000 a commercial or whatever. And then her friends, ended up getting the no-bid contract for $143 million, which is better than catching tuna.
He was HUD's secretary.
Who was?
Designated
is that what he was? He was the HUD
yeah.
secretary? He didn't even have an office. I remember that. And they were going to fire him, right? That was it. He thought he was going to get fired, and the next thing you know, he's the president of the United States. That's a nice
Fire
job.
that.
Just like that. So Ag secretary gets free steaks for life. No, I don't think so.
If you know what, I'd be okay with that as long as they're making less than 50,000.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Adam Schiff talking about Nome.
Her PR campaign, because she acknowledged that the president was aware and supportive of this PR campaign, this $220 million boondoggle, this waste of taxpayer resources. But this was what ended up apparently, reportedly, getting her fired when her leadership at the agency resulted in Americans getting killed in Minneapolis and elsewhere, and the kind of chaos we've seen throughout the country says a lot about the priorities and the concerns of this administration.
Oh, God, he's not a long ball hitter. Adam Schiff. Little pencil neck. We always joked about it, and people would get mad because we would call her, immigration Barbie, because that's what she was. She was always dressed up in something new every day. She was all about the show, right? It's what's the old saying in golf, right? You drive for show, but you putt for dough. She was never about making the putt. She was always about the big splash. And, the amount of money, $220+ million, including $143 million to a company that was set up 8 days before they got the contract, no website, nothing, like a P.O. box. And then that was subcontracted out to a company where her former communications chief and her husband run. That's a boondoggle. You're right, Adam. And it's not a long ball hitter. Adam Schiff, not a long ball hitter. Definitely not. Coming up, burger wars are heating up. Brittany got arrested. No, Britt! I think this is the best thing for her. Maybe we can get her some help that she needs now that she's back off of all of her social media. She got off of all of the social media. So she is a hot mess. And we're watching her melt down. It's sad. It's sad. Sad, kids, sad. Remember why, Brittany? Why? Remember that guy crying for Britney Spears? Why, Brittany?
He was a meme for about a year and a half.
It was, man. That guy memed for a long time. We'll talk about that, a bunch of other stuff on the way. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital is awesome. Why don't you talk to my friends over there at Bulwark? Positioned quite nicely at a time when things were going sideways because they saw what was coming and they positioned themselves that when things went sideways or went down, they profited. Why? Because the way that they do things is so much different. And they're active managers. They're about protecting what you've worked so hard for, right? Risk management, low risk, lower cost, lower volatility. And through value investing, looking for the best places investment-wise globally. I want you to get a free second opinion with them. It is a Know Your Risk portfolio review. It's absolutely free right now. Know Your Risk portfolio review. And you can sign up at knowyourriskpodcast.com, K-N-O-W, podcast.com. When you go there, you can also get their free market recap that they do every day. But they're going to show you some things that are just much different. They're about 60+% up from January of last year. And that's pretty darn good. That's above market, I would say. So find out what they can do for you. My friends at Bulwark Capital, knowyourriskpodcast.com. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involved risk, not a guarantee. Past performance, not guarantee future results. Trek 2647.
Operation Epic Fury full report, as well as President Trump firing Kristi Noem as Secretary of Homeland Security. And here in Tennessee, the deadline for candidates to file for election 2026 is quickly approaching. We'll let you hear from one of them running for governor coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Did Butch get his paperwork done? Do we know yet?
Well, his name's on the list, but I don't know if it's finalized yet.
Okay. Got to get him in space. I think he's the outsider we need.
He has no website yet.
Butch, you need to get a website. We can't contact you to bring you on the show.
Oh, I think I've found somebody that can help me, but it would be nice if he had a website.
I mean, everybody's going up against Marsha.
Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, Barry E. Butch Wilmore. It says the status is issued.
Okay, so that
same
means
as Blackburn. Let's see. Monty Fritz signatures approved. So I don't know what issued means.
Means they probably passed everything?
I guess it could be.
And Monty Fritz is he was in there with Chris today. I was listening to a little bit of that.
With Brother Chris this morning.
So how about some of the other issues? I know that you want to, make sure that Charlie Kirk has the squares all over the colleges. And I don't know how expensive it really is, but potholes. I'm going to keep saying potholes until somebody does it. So do you guys ever see when Arnold Schwarzenegger in California went out and started filling up potholes, and then they came over to him and they stopped him from doing it, the state? He's outside because there's all these potholes, and they told him he couldn't do it.
Was this when he was governor?
No.
Oh.
This is when he was just
going to
resident.
say, if he was governor at the time, I looked at him and went, "You're fired."
Oh, God, it is insane. Some other stuff that we need to focus on. Like today, they're out there talking about the, Judea and Samaria. We've got this out of committee and we're gonna vote on it. I'm like, is there other things we can vote on?
Those are New York boroughs, right?
Those are New York boroughs. Absolutely, New York boroughs. I mean, like you said, Israel calls it West Bank. Israel does. And we have this weird thing where nowhere in Scripture and this, that, and the other, it's like, oh, God, there's other things that need to be focused on. So John Rose has money. Money for its, I don't know, because you got to have money. I mean, Marsha's got the name recognition and she's going to have a pile of cash.
I mean, yeah, she's already got a pile of cash. John's probably going to have to self-finance to a certain degree.
But I think he said he would.
Yeah.
But to a certain degree. And, of course, the number one thing besides potholes is pot.
That and Marsha's special treatment by NES when the ice storm happened.
Yeah, that's trust me, Marsha, let me tell you something. Ask Ted Cruz, that never goes away.
Nah, yeah.
You do something in a winter storm, it's sticking with you.
The ice stuck, and so is this.
Yes, big time. That does not go away at all. Doesn't. A lot of people don't like Marsha. I'm always surprised when we bring her up. God, I remember when she invited us over there, and we thought she was going to tell us she's running for governor, and then she just wanted to have a chat. We're like, really? I felt like this could have been an email. Oh, we've not had.
She has a very mixed. What's the word I'm looking for? She's the state reaction to her is very mixed.
Yes. Yeah. But I think John Rose is really her going to be whatever competition she has. Do we even know who's running on the left side of the aisle?
Let me see here.
Is anybody? Somebody wants to lose?
A whole bunch.
Oh, it's one of those.
Wow.
I think John's the only person that can even compete with her in terms of name recognition, except for who's the astronaut?
Butch Wilmore.
I just disproved my own point.
I was getting ready to say, Brother Bilal.
But just because he's been in the news, and I think obviously his story of being stuck up there is going to get him a lot of traction in terms of, people finding out who he is.
By the way, his signatures approved.
Okay, cool.
And then this morning on Hand Show, he says he wants debates.
I heard that. And you know what? I think you should not be able to run for any office without at least one debate. There has to be. And what I would like to see is because debates are kind of silly, right? I think what we'd like to see is maybe, a couple 30-minute town halls and then maybe a debate. But you cannot, if you will not debate, and she's no reason to debate right now. Until it gets close, you don't have to. And, Katie Hobbs in Arizona proved you don't have to debate at all. There's no reason to debate. We don't have to debate. And you can still win. But I don't think they've set I don't even think they've set any kind of time for a debate if they're even going to have a debate. And if you're in the lead, right, by so much, why would you even think about debating? Because even if it drops you a point or two, it doesn't matter. And if you don't show up, see, Trump was able to get away with it because of who he was and the fact that the debates were going to be, that was more money for the television companies than anything else. But for everybody else, I want to hear her go up against some people. Don't you guys? I mean, don't you want to hear what she actually has to say in this situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you should be able and you should be willing to defend your record.
Yes.
On the record.
On the record. On the record. Which is why I would love to see the military, the Powers Act get through. Why? Because I want everybody to vote on something. Put it on the record. Put it on. But you know what? Since Iraq, none of them want to be on the record for anything. They don't, right? Because they can, let's be real. If this thing goes sideways in Iran and we're there 6 months from now and it's cost us $1 trillion and several hundred lives and, gas is through the roof, every one of those Republicans will step away and say, well, that was on him, right? Because they don't want to be on the record. They don't. We should all want them to be on the record. This is your job. Could you imagine saying, I don't want to take the test, and if I do, I'm not going to sign my name to it?
Well, it just goes back to Congress having such a low approval rating, yet people's attitude is, well, Congress sucks, except for my guy. I'm going to reelect him.
Yeah, everybody. Congress sucks. Congress sucks. Yeah, Congress does suck. Again, go look at Chuck Schumer. I mean,
he's become about useless.
Oh, so useless. God, so useless. So useless.
And I still had my guacamole dip on Super Bowl.
You did. By the way, speaking of Super Bowl, some of you might want to cover your ears. So the final numbers are out about Bad Bunny. So he was just below, what's his name from the year before? Forgot his name.
Oh, Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. But when it comes to impressions and views, in 24 hours, he got over 4 billion views on the web.
The NFL likes that.
Yeah, I mean, the conservatives were nice enough to give him all that extra publicity.
Yeah, you guys did. You pulled the Streisand effect. Yeah, absolutely. All right, coming up, this is interesting, guys. I want you guys to take a listen to this. This guy here set up a fake phone line for teachers to call in and snitch on immigrant children.
Okay. I'm not into illegal people being here.
I have my own hotline for reporting illegal immigrants, and people call it thinking that it's legitimate.
We'll talk a bit about that. It's really interesting. This teacher wants to get some of her kids kicked out and snitching on their families. That's an odd thing. We'll talk about that, among other things. And yes, Operation Epic Fury. What's the latest on that? Chad Bencio, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Operation Epic Fury update in a moment. But first, President Trump says Kristi Noem's out as Secretary of Homeland Security, the first major firing of his second term. He says Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin is his pick to now lead DHS, and Mullin says he's ready.
The Department of Homeland Security has a very broad jurisdiction. And I think there's a lot of work that we need to do, and I'm excited about it.
Sources telling ABC News the president had privately expressed a deep frustration over Noem's testimony during the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on Tuesday when she claimed The president was aware and signed off for her to appear in a taxpayer-funded $220 million ad campaign, repeatedly suggested the president signed off on it. President Trump told Reuters today he never knew anything about it. Operation Epic Fury. State Department says it's closing the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait due to retaliatory Iranian strikes. State Department says they've helped at least 10,000 Americans leave the region so far. And President Trump telling Axios today he has to be involved with what he called the appointment of Iran's next leader, similar to how he approved Delcy Rodriguez being in power in Venezuela. And here in Tennessee, election 2026, the deadline for candidates to file is quickly approaching. 6th District Congressman John Rose on WTN's Chris Hand Show says he is not focused only on beating Senator Marsha Blackburn in the gubernatorial primary.
We know from the 2018 race, we all remember well that Governor Lee was thought to have no chance all the way up until early June of that year, then broke out and, obviously ended up being the next governor of Tennessee. So this race is not about, influential elected officials who endorse.
Rose says he wants debates. By the way, the candidate filing deadline is Tuesday. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
All right, guys, Beacon Capital Management wants to help you when it comes to your retirement, your taxes, your health care, everything, and they can do it all. Right now, you have an opportunity to sign up for a free personalized financial consultation. You go to beaconcm.com or call 615-488-9303. Whether it's taxes and you're not quite sure about what you can do when it comes to the one big beautiful bill and how you can write certain things off like car loan deduction or get an extra $6,000 off as a senior deduction if you're over the age of 65, or maybe it's long-term, care. Maybe it is, healthcare itself, estate planning, or the dollars and cents when it comes to your retirement. So why don't you do this? Get your free personalized financial consultation for our friends at Beacon Capital Management. They're local. They're amazing. Call them today at 615-488-9303. 615-488-9303. Check them out online at beaconcm.com. beaconcm.com for Beacon Capital Management. This is a paid placement. All right, guys, let's talk about Omaha Steaks. It's amazing. Omaha Steaks is incredible. It's delivered right to your door. Fresh, amazing steaks. 50% off semi-annual sale going on now. All you have to do is go to omahasteaks.com. Now, when you do, use my code Benson. You get an extra $35 off on top of that. Omaha Steaks is delicious. They have the best USDA choice, tender, incredible fillets wrapped in bacon. They've got seafood. They've got Polynesian pork chops. They've got chicken breasts that are amazing. Smash burgers, regular burgers. They got Franks, you name it. They've got them all coming to you. 100% unconditional money-back guarantee. 50% off site-wide. So the best in protein delivered to you fresh and ready for you to gnaw into, which is incredible. I eat it almost every day to the point where we go through it too much and then we got to order new ones. That's going to be you too. Take advantage of the 50% off sale right now. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use my code Benson. Get an extra $35 off at checkout. omahasteaks.com. Use my code Benson for the extra $35 off. See site for detail. Terms may apply. Somebody's like, you're very giddy today. Throwing shade on Kristi Noem. She needs it. Ted Cruz. I didn't throw shade on Ted Cruz. I just said if you're going to, he did that to himself.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Cancun in the middle of a freezing ice storm. And as far as Charlie Kirk, I didn't throw any shade on Charlie Kirk. I just said, we have, and even Chris talked about it. If it really is, with $13 million can or $18 million, whatever
18.
it is.
Yeah, the institutions say it's $18 million, but Monty Fritz says no. He says it's about $2,000 a campus.
How is it $2,000 a campus?
He was basing it on, just the materials that he says will be needed and how much they cost.
Okay. Well, is it Kristi Noem material? Because Kristi Noem material, it might be $18 million or whatever it is.
I don't know.
So, somebody texted, love Ken Weaver, not so much the other two libtard. You're a libtard.
I love when people say that because it's just like they're so blinded by party loyalty that they can't even think like an American.
Yeah. No,
it's like what's good and what's bad.
You're a libtard.
And by the way, I'm actually a libertarian.
Yeah. A libertarian.
Yeah, you boys aren't liberals.
No, we're not. Oh, but yeah, you are because, the thing.
You said something I disagree with. That makes you a liberal. Oh, shut up.
Good God. Stop it with your silliness. Your silliness. Kristi Noem's gone. John, or what's his name? We got Mark Wayne Mullins.
Yeah, Mark Wayne Mullen.
He's going to be taking over. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. I hope he's less performative. I just don't. The performative stuff, guys, I like stuff getting done. I'm very data-driven. I don't, the other stuff doesn't. I just sit there and I shake my head when, I get that there's got to be, in today's politics, the only way to catch anybody's eyes is to be performative. But it's going to go run Shield with Nick Fury. Going to go run Shield with Nick Fury. Nick Fury. Nick Fury.
Oh, that's right. She'd be an undersecretary because he's the head of SHIELD International, and she's just the head of SHIELD of America.
Yeah. Exactly. So she's going to be just for the Americas, not globally. We're not going to give her that. This guy here is this guy. So I saw this on Channel 5, because they're trying to make sure that we know, they're trying to get that bill through about illegals. Kids, right? These little kids here, are they illegal? Their parents illegal. This guy set up a phone line where you can call and snitch, but it's not really a phone line where he just wants to mess with you.
Okay.
I'm not into illegal people being here.
I have my own hotline for reporting illegal immigrants, and people call it thinking that it's legitimate. I talked to a kindergarten teacher that wants to deport the parents of a kindergartner at her school. And it looks like they have a child who was born in New York, which makes them an American citizen.
Yeah.
So we're looking to deport the parents and leave the child.
Right. Like I said, I don't know if they're here illegally. I just think it's odd, It's very odd.
What did you say was odd?
It's just odd for them to even be here. Like, I'm a teacher at a school. Okay, I know schools. I know the whole law about schools. I mean, they seem like nice people or whatever, but I looked them up in our files, and I was like, oh, she was born in Honduras and he's born in El Salvador. So right there, it's like, okay, maybe I'm on the right path.
I don't know if they're here legally, but you guys should probably deport them. Leave the kid, though. So you're a kindergarten teacher? Just out of curiosity, if we were to leave the kid, are we going to leave the kid in your custody? Is that how that works? Does anybody want one? Because we don't do a good job. All you got to do is TCS. We don't do a good job in that. This guy set up a fake, hotline for people to call in. I think he was shocked because he has all these conversations with teachers who were not sure if the parents are legal or not. And it's just, it's a snapshot to what, this kind of fear factor and stuff. That's we're trying to pass laws to do all these kind of things. And so much of it is a lot of show. But the fact that he's getting calls, I think he's absolutely shocked about that people are calling up and, I don't know if they're here illegally, but I've got a feeling because they speak 2 languages.
Let's go arrest him and find out.
Let's do it. Let's go arrest him. Is Nick Fury a porn star? No. No, he's not. Snitches get stitches. It's true. Oh, my Lord. Continue. Let's see what else this person has to say.
Well, I'm just saying that if they're taking up resources from our county,
Okay.
I'm not into illegal people being here.
I mean, if the son's in kindergarten, what, is 6 or 7,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's probably like 5 or 6.
And he was born in New York, so that means, assumingly, they've been in America for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go ahead and just remove them.
Are you like questioning that, or what do you know?
Yeah. Sorry, no, I'm just writing this down for my own
Okay.
personal notes, and my supervisor teaches at school wants kindergarten child's parents
You
deported.
make it sound terrible. You make it sound like it's terrible, but
I just like they go, hey, are they here illegally? I don't know. But you want them deported? Yeah, if you could do that.
Once possible illegal shot. Well, you make it sound terrible.
I think she hears it out of her mouth going, that's uncomfortable. Like, it's the sausage being made. You're hearing it like, oh, does that really sound like that? It's like the first time you hear your voice when it's not in your head. You're like, oh, do I sound like that? Yeah.
I can understand somebody wanting illegals to be deported, but maybe you find out if they're actually illegal before you start running off at the mouth.
Yeah. That's the truth. Too many libertarians on WTN.
Not enough libertarians on WTN.
Yeah, independence, baby. That's what it's all about.
More freedom, less government.
Go out there every day and challenge your beliefs. There's this I think it was Yale that did a study where they took hardcore white men from like 30 to 50 and on average watched 2 hours of Fox a day. And they paid them to watch, instead of Fox for a month, only CNN. And then they quiz them every week to make sure that they were watching it. And they said, well, they didn't change they didn't go from being, Fox and it's a uber conservative to liberal. What they did do was, hey, I don't think my side tells all the story. And I said, yeah. Just like CNN doesn't tell all the story. Everybody gives their team's scores. That's it. How'd you guys do? We scored 6. How'd the other team did? We scored 6.
Politicians are known for lying, and that is not partisan.
So, yeah. Absolutely. They've been known to tell a porcupine or two. And it's a difference, look, it's one thing to go out and to tell, put some mustard on stuff of what you're going to be able to do. Because I don't know what we would do if we had a politician come out and say, John McCain did it. I remember, and that, everybody's like, man, that really cost him. When he was in Ohio, he was at a factory, and they're like, when are you bringing jobs back? He's like, I'm not bringing jobs back. Jobs aren't coming back to this factory. This thing's never going to work again. And they were shocked. And I'm like, that's what you get for telling the truth.
What's the old the line in Ghostbusters 2 where Bill Murray says to the governor's assistant, You're a politician. Aren't you supposed to lie to me and kiss my butt?
Yeah. No. I mean, but if we heard people tell the truth, I think everybody would be shocked. But and you know, the weird thing is we probably know the truth, but we still cheer it on anyways, as if it may be the truth eventually if you think hard enough on it. And that doesn't happen. All right, coming up, we got Matt now. Matt's out at the boat show. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Matt's out at the boat show. Ken was supposed to be at the boat show today because Ken was supposed to be there getting our tuna boat.
Yeah, I was going to practice catching tuna.
Yeah. So
he disappointed us.
I mean, we were so close to being millionaires this weekend.
We were, and I just ruined it all.
You did.
Yeah, but don't worry, we got other stuff. We've decided to open up our own advertising group, and we've signed Mark Wade Mullen and Christy Nome for her new group, the Shields of America. She's going to give us a no-bid contract of $300 gazillion. So we'll talk to Matt at the boat show. Straight ahead, Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 987. Portion program is brought to you by NCA, National Certified Alarms, long-term contracts, license number 645, wrapping it up. Can't do the cross because currently the pirate that is Matt is swashbuckling at the boat show, which is where Ken should be getting our giant tuna boat.
Is he swashbuckling or swishbuckling?
That's a good question. Could you imagine, though, if he had our big tuna boat right now?
He's a swashbuckler.
Swashbuckler. He's like One Piece. I'm watching that. Have you seen One Piece? You know what One Piece is?
No.
It's a, you know what One Piece, there is. Big hair, ladies and gentlemen. It's a, is it anime? I think it's anime, right? It's anime, but now they have a live action version. It's really cool. They eat these magic fruit and this, it's just, it's kind of fun. And there's another, because starting Monday, we're going to do Bad Movie Mondays. Or we're going to watch awful, horrible movies. Like the kind of movies where you're like, that is awful. We're all going to review a bad movie. I got some good ones. I got some good bad movies. If you can think there's good bad movies, there's plenty of them. Anything with Nick Cage has the potential of being either a Oscar winner or a bad movie.
Butcher's Crossing.
Yep.
Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time.
Well, luckily, this bit has enough source material that it can go on for a very long time.
Yeah.
Because most of what gets released is crap.
That is so true. God, that is so true. I'm always amazed. I'm amazed, like we were talking last week about because now there's a new Pinocchio movie, so they're doing all those, because the patent's up now or whatever, the copyright, so you can grab it. And so there's a new Pinocchio movie where it's like Pinocchio's Revenge or one of these things. And it's...
He spears Geppetto through the eye with his nose.
Basically, yeah. The only way for him... He doesn't want to become a little boy like that. He goes and he just skins Geppetto. So...
Yeah, I haven't... I kind of wanted to see that Guillermo del Toro version. But it's almost 4 hours long.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that the Frankenstein movie?
No, not the Frankenstein. He did a Pinocchio.
Oh, that's right. He did.
Oh, but I think it's called Geppetto, but I'm not sure. But it's like almost 4 hours long.
Oh, that's a long ass time, man.
That Frankenstein movie was great.
He's such a good director.
That was really good.
He is such a good director. That guy is just incredible.
I mean, he went in a direction I had no idea he was going to go with that.
Yeah, because I don't think people if you go and read the book,
right.
they go out into the frozen tundra, because we always just think of Frankenstein from back in the original Sony picture,
right?
Days and all that. Not Sony, but back in the way back days.
Yeah, the old,
black and white,
the black and white,
and they're showing up, with pitchforks and
he's going,
yeah, and it's not that it's different. I think Kenneth Branagh tried to do one like that too, but it was too much ahead of his time. I love Guillermo. That guy is so amazing. He is.
If you make a movie that long, though, you're almost guaranteeing that I'm going to wait till it comes out on digital so I can take bathroom breaks and get up and get snacks.
Yeah, you can't make a movie that long.
Like watch half an hour a day.
Yeah, exactly.
I will turn it into a series.
You cannot make a movie that long. Who has time for that? I'm always fascinated, who has time for a 4-hour movie? We can't even watch, if a TikTok's too long because somebody's got to spend 2 minutes explaining something to me, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, if you've got to set it up, it's a waste of time.
And it's never a good setup either. Nobody ever is good at explaining the setup. They just dribble on and on and on, and it's all stupid. Oh, Lord. Is Jackson out there, too?
I believe Brother Jackson's out there.
Whenever Matt's on location, Jackson doesn't have to work.
Yeah. Is that the contract he has? Jackson probably right now is sitting in a boat somewhere floating around.
He's probably catching my tuna.
Probably. All right, you guys. Matt's straight ahead. I think he's got Freddie with him today. Am I right, Freddie O'Connell?
He said yesterday that Mayor Freddie O'Connell was scheduled to be on.
So we will see.
4:05, I believe.
We will see if that happens. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll do it again tomorrow.